live, so once again I'm live, coming in early tonight, but earlier sometime. I'm gonna be on been up all day, but I come in at 8:30. I'm getting right into it.
Shows a staggering surge in the number of Americans turned caregivers for sick or elderly family members. A new AARP report says nearly 1 out of 4 American adults has taken on that responsibility. For tonight's interview, we are joined by AARP CEO, Dr. Maisha Jordan. Dr. Jordan, thanks for being with us. A 50% increase in home caregivers. What accounts for that jump?
Sure. So, what we have is we've reached a crisis point in our country for our nation's 63 million caregivers. What we have is a confluence of a number of things, one of which is that we are aging as a population within the U.S. We have a number of individuals who actually are identifying themselves as caregiving as we are talking about this issue more. Additionally, we're finding that the issue of complexity is becoming more and more of a concern. The number of years that we're living longer, but we're not living healthier. And so we have more medically complex people who are requiring care for to this crisis that we're experiencing today.
Right. So not just more, but more difficult. Give us a sense, help people understand what life is like as a caregiver or a typical instance, although, of course, obviously nothing is typical.
Exactly. Everyone's situation is very different, but ranging from individuals that I've met, some of our members themselves who called us and who I've had the opportunity to interview. I think of a woman named Anna Tris, who I met with in Florida. She has a mother who has dementia and who she loves dearly and wants to care for, but is facing issues in terms of the rising cost, the financial burden that caregivers face, up to over $7,000 a year for many caregivers, to the fact that she has to now coordinate her mother's care. She has to use her own retirement savings to take care of her mother. So we're experiencing that in many different ways. And obviously those who are lower income, who live in more rural areas, have less access to care, less access to services. One of the reasons that we are partnering with the United Way is to be able to do just that, provide access to care and services through our 211 service that we've rolled out in 25 states around the country.
And Dr. Jordan, a number of those people caring for parents are parents themselves. So they've got kids on the other end of the age spectrum.
That's right. We have what we call the sandwich generation, individuals who are caring for young children as well as older parents. And in terms of our survey, we identified over 18 million individuals who fall into that category who are dealing with just that. We also know that at every point in life, we will either become a caregiver or need caregiving. And most support loved ones without pay, often taking time from work or from their other family needs. So this is indeed a crisis that we need to continue to act very swiftly on. We're focusing on passing state caregiver tax credits. We're focused on providing services through our affiliation with the United Way through our 211 service. And we're also focused on highlighting home-based care and some of the technology that can support that.
Home-based care, because give us a sense of training a little bit. How do we know how to care for our parents?
I know.
Yeah. Talk about that.
It's such a challenge. We have so many individuals, over 63 million caregivers in the U.S., an increase of over 20 million from 10 years ago, dealing with medical complex issues that they have no training for. And so one of the issues that we've surfaced from our members, hearing from Americans across the country, is that they need support, they need training. And again, part of our partnership with the United Way is helping to do that, but we're also fighting for additional resources, working with different states. Oklahoma became the first state to pass a tax credit for caregivers in 2023. Nebraska soon follows. We know that several states, at least 9, have since introduced tax credits this year that help provide that essential support, but training continues to be a significant issue.
Why is Amazon paying me $63,000 a month? Well, I didn't make this kind of money selling yoga mats and toasters, and I damn sure wasn't talking my friends into buying vitamins and juices. I did it with a free app that's probably already on your phone, and that app is the Kindle app.
And the crazy part is, I didn't create this system. Carla taught me this. Carla, why don't you tell them more about it?
I'm going to show you a way to potentially make money by pairing Amazon with the power of AI without ever selling physical products. And I promise you've never heard about this before. I just created some simple digital products, then I put them up on Amazon, And it was so exciting. The first time I tried it, I made $14 and I was like, oh my goodness, this actually works. Hi, I'm Carla Marie, and the coolest part is Amazon puts over 300 million customers just a click away. So age, experience, qualifications, none of it matters. I want to share my full system with you, but obviously this is an ad. So I'm hosting a free workshop where I walk you through my system step by step. This system has transformed my life and has sprinkled a little magic in the lives of hundreds of other people. Now, I hate workshops that are so slow and boring that they send you to sleep. So I made sure that this workshop moves fast and that it's fun, exciting, and informative. That said, if you love face-to-face selling, don't click on this ad. You see, with this, you never need to talk to anyone or push products on people. So this definitely isn't a good fit for someone with a salesy personality type. However, if you want to learn a low-key way to potentially make some extra money working from home that can cover some important bills and help you enjoy more fun trips, don't wait. Click anywhere around this video and watch the free workshop now. Discover how we create reliable streams of semi-passive income without complex websites, unneeded stress, or huge startup costs. You'll even get
What's up, man? How you doing?
What up? What up? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm putting up this stuff. Got a couple things. Been up since 5 this morning, but I got a couple things up here.
Okay. Word.
I was talking to the lady the other day about this. Women want to have babies older.
What happened?
The report notes that babies born to Black moms and rural moms and teen moms have the highest death rates in the U.S. So for more on this, let's bring in emergency psychiatrist and lifestyle medicine doctor, Dr. Adjoa Smalls-Monty. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Adjoa. Over the past 2 decades, the birth rate in the U.S. has been on a steady decline, with women either choosing not to have children or waiting until later in life. What do you make of these changes, and why do you think that we're seeing it happen?
So thank you for having me, Janae. The rates have declined. Many reasons for that are that people have planned their pregnancies a little bit more. We have access to contraception. People have prioritized their careers. People are also thinking about the financial resources that are required to raise a family. And so that is one of the reasons why the birth, or a few of the reasons why the birth rates have been declining in the United States.
It is really interesting because obviously having a child is very expensive. And so, yes, seeing those numbers later in life for women over 40 and also seeing fewer teen pregnancies is really interesting to see. And a new CDC report found that the infant death rate was the highest among babies born to Black moms, rural moms, and teen moms. Why is that? And what can be done to prevent these deaths?
Yes, this is a very sad statistic, but something that is not new. And it's sad that this is a problem that continues. And so some of the reasons why the mortality rate is higher in Black moms and rural moms, in young mothers as well, as one, it could be access to resources, to obstetric services. In rural areas, you may not have access to the specialist doctors in case you have certain complications. We know more and more labor and delivery units are being closed around the country, so we need to focus on funding these type of units. In addition, transportation might be a problem in rural areas. So it could take a long time to get to the hospital or to get to a clinic where you can get your regular maternity care. In addition, there are also the other socioeconomic factors that do cause difficulties in your pregnancy and in your delivery. So poverty can affect your nutrition, your clinics that you are able to go to, but also there is racism that exists because there is no reason why Black mothers should have a higher rate of mortality, why Black babies should have a higher rate of mortality. It is the racism that exists in terms of how Black women are listened to when they complain of pain that can denote that a problem might be occurring during their labor and delivery, during their postpartum period. There have been too many sad stories. And so there needs to be more awareness, more understanding, more treating people with concern when they bring up things that are happening during their pregnancy. But also this is for people anywhere. It's not only Black women, although that is a higher statistic, but it is all women that are going into the hospital that are having a child. We have to take their concerns seriously.
So many important things you touched on, the underlying issue of racism that we've heard so many experts point to, and the maternal disparities that we've seen, and also the maternal care deserts that impact so many Americans around this country when it comes to getting the healthcare services that they need. Dr. Adjoa Smalls-Monty, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah. Now we got to go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Maybe where's the goal?
All right, man. What do you think about that, man?
I mean, my thing is none of them are gonna do. Nobody's gonna do nothing about this shit. Nobody's gonna do nothing about it.
Tom, this is very much a developing situation.
Nobody's gonna do nothing about it. Motherfuckers are simply going crazy over this dude Trump over here and shit, especially a lot of Black people. So I mean, I'm just looking at his policies. Joe Biden, they ain't really address it. None of these people address none of this. It doesn't matter, Democrat or Republican. It's gonna be the same. Republican, it's gonna be the same. You see what I'm saying? These stories are not to be addressed because the real important stuff that's going on in America should not be handled, should not be fixed. Because that's how you keep poverty going. That's how you keep crime going. The more poverty, the more crime, right? So that puts the LAPD and all these police departments, that puts them in a certain position. You see what I'm saying? When there's less crime, right? Because they have a lot of these police departments have quotas that they got to fill too, though. A lot of people don't know about that. So these people got to fill quotas. You see what I'm saying? So that guess what? I.e., arrest a certain amount of people. You see what I'm saying? So, in that aspect, the poverty thing, keeping people down, man, keeping people just disadvantaged. They don't, it takes less time for them to catch up to, or more time for them to catch up to the 1%. You see what I'm saying? And then another thing is too, with this health thing, they know this study that, you know what I'm saying, the more impoverished you are, the more harder it is for healthcare and your health is and the type of food you be eating, because you probably live in areas that got food deserts. They don't got no proper supermarkets. Even in the damn supermarkets, you see what I'm saying? And even in stuff on TV and in the media, the healthy stuff is not promoted. You see what I'm saying? And then when you got to go, quote unquote, get the healthy stuff, you got to go way to Sprouts. As expensive as places like that are, question even if a lot of that stuff is even organic or not. So I mean, you gotta look at this stuff in a couple different ways. A couple different aspects. You see what I'm saying? This stuff is not gonna be fixed. More people have to take care of their loved ones because you see what I'm saying? It's becoming a burden. It's expensive. These damn places, nursing centers and stuff like that, super expensive. Healthcare is in a tug of war right now. And that's how I tell people, these people make poverty. It's not just you just poor. You see what I'm saying? This dude is right here is making poverty. But at a time like this, right? Now he got a what's the name? Executive order, which a court could block that if they want to, but they're not. Then he got an executive order, right, for a homeless to get rid of homeless people, right, encampments and all this bullshit. But my thing is, and he talking about drug treatment programs, but see, that's stereotype. See, I don't like stereotypes. I don't go on stereotypes. I don't really like to go on stereotypes and generalize because not everybody that's homeless is on drugs, man. Not everybody that's on social programs are fucking sitting at home eating bonbons all fucking day. You see what I'm saying? That's bullshit that these people come up with. These Europeans come up with all these bullshit stereotypes and this bullshit buzzword jargon, bullshit pun, all this shit. And we got to stop focusing on that. We got to stop focusing on that. You know, you do all that, you make poverty. So you cut social programs, right? You know, you cut government jobs. You know that jobs is already hard to find as it is, but you cut a bunch of government fucking jobs anyway, right? You see what I'm saying? Then you want to come up with some shit with this homeless thing. Then you cut social programs. But then you got fake beef with people like Elon Musk, but guess what? Elon Musk just got another contract. See, that's why I be telling people I notice people fall for a lot of shit, and I just be looking at people kind of weird because it's like, our kids should be your kids, and the young ones should be falling for this, but the grown ass 40-something, we shouldn't be falling for this type of shit, man. This shit is all plays. This shit is all bullshit. We got to come up. We got to stop. We got to get together, which we're not. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all this classism shit going on in America. That's why they made it like that. So, you know, you got all this stuff. So we're going to forever be divided, and the government's going to be forever taking advantage of us like they've been doing. It's just that simple. It ain't hard to figure this out. This is all BS. You see what I'm saying? The same people that talk about these situations are the ones that make it. Oh, man, I'm moving poor and poverty, you know, unemployment and this and that. I'll just get a job and I'm going to cut these social programs. You just got to work more. Dude, you making it, motherfuckers are making it harder, dude. And that, what's the name, the Federal Reserve, being high, like the interest rates high, being high like that, that's fucking up the job market too. No, motherfuckers don't want to talk about that. All this shit is doing this shit. All this is messing up the country. And guess what? Like I said, they're not going to invest in infrastructure. They're not going to invest in this economy. They're not going to put federal dollars into bringing this motherfucker back to maybe kind of like how it was. But they'll do that. No, my bad. They are doing that. But they're doing that towards AI to shut American people down because they're lazy. Just because this, like the whole myth, the slave myth. Oh, you motherfuckers lazy. You want people to work for them, and this and that's the same thing. The immigrants, bringing them over here for cheaper labor, it's the same thing. Now you got even cheaper labor with the motherfucking androids. What is that? Drones or AI, wherever the fuck. So I mean, the same people. I'm putting it like this, man. I know that was long-winded, but I'm not surprised with this healthcare thing. Black people, they always been doing stuff like that. They've been experimenting on us since way back then. With the what's her name? Eunice Evers or whatever, with the thing with the Tuskegee experiment. Eunice Rivers, my bad. And they use a black person to do it too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I know I was long-winded, but we gotta. I mean, this shit is not. We're not paying none of these politicians. We're not paying none of these motherfuckers. And at the same time,
imagine being able to build anything for any reason, in any style, at any scale.
You got a point.
Tom, this is very much a developing situation.
This happened yesterday.
We have team coverage tonight. Later, Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Jessica Kirk joins us in studio to break down the forecast. But first, 8 News reporter Jamal Williams joining us live in Richmond. And Jamal, what's your update on customers still struggling tonight?
Well, Deanna, I'm here at Libby and Grove Avenue, where more than 80 customers were without power from last night's storm. I spoke with one Richmonder who described what happened when storms rolled through.
There was a tremendous explosion, and then the power went out on this street.
Longtime Richmond resident Noel Clenard recalling what neighbors told him happened when yesterday's storm wreaked havoc in Richmond.
A major fork of that tree came off into these lines and was heavy enough that it broke everything all the way down to this house here.
According to Dominion Energy spokesperson Craig Harper, Scattered storms affected more than 90,000 customers in parts of Henrico, Hanover, and Richmond.
It's broken poles, broken cross arms, and broken wire. So, every one of them falls somewhere into that category.
Carper says crews have been hard at work restoring power, and extreme heat conditions play a factor in how long they get it done.
In those 16-hour shifts, make sure that they stay hydrated. Every bucket truck has a cooler full of water, Gatorade, everything they need to stay hydrated, and they're taking care of each other.
Carper says customers should make sure to close windows and blinds to prevent heat from coming inside their homes when the power is out. Kennard says he'll take extra precautions around his home until power is restored.
Our house has got solid brick walls, not that thick. So it was still 74 degrees in the house when we got home, and the freezer was still cold and the refrigerator was still cold. So we took everything out.
Yeah, it was a bad storm yesterday because I was out there when it started, but I got home quick. And then it was like 95 degrees today.
I'm telling you, weird weather, man. They're gonna blame it on climate control. That shit don't got nothing to do none of that shit. Why is it not hot in California? Out here, it's like 70-something degrees out here. Why is it not that hot out here then? If it's all like climate control, wouldn't it be? This is a hot state anyway. Why wouldn't it be extremely hot out here? So I don't know, man. We don't. It's just too much. But they know people aren't. They're just gonna believe whatever they say. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I know that makes sense, and just go with it. People just gonna go with the bullshit. So.
Yep. Well,
I sent you some stuff about these mass. Man, it was like 2 mass shootings, dude. There was a mass stabbing. I was gonna do a show, but
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christine Johnson, and we're interrupting Inside Edition to give you some breaking news that is happening out of Midtown. The NYPD saying at least 1 officer has been shot. The scene is happening at 345 Park Avenue. That is Park Avenue between 51st and 52nd Street. It's also along Lexington. This building takes up an entire city block. Here is live pictures just a block away from the scene. As you can imagine, police are keeping as many people away from this active scene where there is a heavy police presence. Here is some background of what we know so far. Police say that they responded to a call of shots fired around 6:40 this evening. It appears that officers are focused on a building which has office space inside. Some of the offices include the NFL, the Blackstone Group, KPMG, Bank of America. Again, the address 345 Park Avenue. We are hearing that this building is being evacuated. The area is blocked off. Our reporter, Jennifer Bisram, is as close to the scene as she could get to give us some more details about what she has been seeing and learning. Jen, what do you have?
Hi, Christine. As you mentioned, there is a massive scene out here, and if we have to stop for a few minutes to move, we will, because police have been moving us further and further away from this scene. Just take a look. We'll have Ryan Lopez just kind of swing around to show where we are right now. 53rd Street, Lexington Avenue. You can see in that corner there, people are just standing by looking at their phones. Many of those people were either in the building or in a surrounding building. Again, we're told at least 1 officer was shot. And now what we're also told, there was a security officer who says that he works inside of 345 Park Avenue. He says that there were multiple shots fired on the first floor. And right now there is still an active shooter situation inside of that building. We're told people are still inside of that building at this hour. And as a matter of fact, right before we came on just a few minutes ago, we had a couple walk past us looking very distraught, looking into their phones. When I asked what happened, they told me that their son is still inside of the building. They did not want to talk with us. We tried talking with multiple people who left that building or surrounding buildings. Nobody wanted to talk, but I can tell you, Christine, you can just see fear in people's faces here. This is Midtown. This happened just a few hours ago. And so we've seen, if we can show you now, we've got state police here. We have state police. We have NYPD. We have the SWAT team here. We've seen all of them with bulletproof vests, their rifles, all walking, going towards that building.
Pause
on Park Avenue. Again, 345 Park.
Why the fuck?
Yep.
Okay, what happened? Like, what? Why is the state? Why is everybody there like that? Because the cop. Okay, cop got shot. Okay, that's serious. Okay, they're gonna be on some serious stuff when the cop gets shot. But SWAT and state police. What the fuck? What is this? Who are they? Are they battling RoboCop or something? What the fuck, bro? Is this one, bro? How many motherfuckers did this shit, bro? How many? Was it one? Is it one suspect? How many suspects? What kind of situation is it? A bank robbery? What is it? Let me just shut up and listen. Let me listen to this. Because I'm like, huh?
That's what they're not saying.
It's like, so why all these? They're not telling you the details, but yet all these motherfuckers are there. I'm surprised the mayor ain't there. I'm surprised they gotta be in that motherfucker, man. These people, man. This is fear, bro. It's fear, and this desensitizes you too, because the more we experience these fake shootings, the more and more, you know what I'm saying, that we get desensitized because we're used to it. What they say, 20-something days, it takes 20-something days for something to be habit formed. Am I right? Like 23-something, 25 days, something like that. You do something straight for 25-something days, it's gonna be a habit. Am I right? So imagine what this is with psychology, with this type of stuff. You keep seeing stuff like this over and over again, you're gonna think this is low-key normal. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna think it's normal, bro. You're gonna think you see it all the time. You've been seeing this for years. You're gonna think, oh shit, well, you know, and you're not gonna really care too much for it. And guess what? When you don't care too much for it, you're not gonna ask questions, right? You're not gonna look into it thoroughly, am I right? They got people programmed, bro. People are programmed like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? BJ, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
They know people are programmed, bro. They know people are desensitized. You know what I'm saying? They're not telling the full, and they know they can tell. See, the media. See, that's what be making me think a lot of these be like hoax, to the point where it's like a hoax or like a false flag, because the media report
right now, a violent weekend in the city prompting Philadelphia's top cop and
the media could report it any way it wants to, bro, and that's suspicious right there. How do you know it's truth to any of this if the media can spin it any way they want? How would you know there's any truth to it? Make sense?
Yeah,
if it's all for fear-based programming anyway.
prosecutor to publicly address what they describe as one of their most challenging months. 3 people were killed, 15 injured in 12 different shootings since Friday. But police say the stats are still showing, quote, historic improvements in fighting crime. Kelly, what are you learning?
Well, Sheba, police say since Thursday night there were 3 quadruple shootings, and 2 of those shootings involved victims that are young children, including a 7-year-old little girl that had to have surgery. Fortunately, police.
Which personnel is possible to start heading in that direction?
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah, this shit is, dude. This shit.
Radio calls Saturday night.
Something already ain't sounding right already.
Captured police responding to gunfire on the 1900 block of West Hunting Park Avenue that killed 2 people and injured 2 others, including a mother and her 7-year-old daughter.
All right, anybody on this detail that scooped the 7-year-old juvenile?
Today, police confirmed it started with a birthday party and barbecue at a home on the block when before 8:30 p.m. a group of men started arguing. Police say it turned physical with women joining the fight. At some point, someone pulls out a gun, shooting a 26-year-old woman in the arm and shooting 26-year-old Karan Ross Weems. He died at the hospital. Then police say 20-year-old Lunzel McDaniel came out of the home and fired down the street, killing 29-year-old Nifik Johnson. McDaniel was charged with murder and other related charges.
At this point, another individual was fatally struck, a 29-year-old, who I was told was trying to render aid to people that were shot. And also, we believe at that point, the 7-year-old received a wound to her head that caused her some very serious injuries where she had to get surgery.
It is cowardly acts to sit in a group and be firing a weapon when you have children being shot.
Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel and District Attorney Larry Krasner addressing the weekend violence during a news conference this morning.
This weekend was violent. This weekend was disturbing.
3 killed and 15 others injured in 12 different shootings. But they also pointed to the numbers that they say continue to show a decline in violent crime, with homicides down about 15% from this time last year, trending the lowest in 50 years.
And we're down significantly with our numbers. We will not accept the fact that this violence continues. July is one of our most challenging months, but we are winning this summer.
Okay, so crime is down. Why is crime up? Why so many mass shootings and mass so-called stabbings then? You know what I'm saying? That makes me think. That's how you know these events something's not right with a lot of these events. Now this probably really happened. This one right here. This probably really happened. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't doubt if this one really happened. But that other one in New York, that something didn't sound right about it. There's a couple things that didn't sound right.
You remember the NFL headquarters building?
We said again, the other one was at the NFL headquarters building in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that? There you go, bro. So who was it? An NFL? Who was involved? Was it any NFL players? These motherfuckers, dude. That's why the media is a part of this. Say it again.
Yeah, some NFL employees.
Who got? Dude. Okay, if these are NFL employees, then shouldn't they be released to the media since these are public figures or no? I mean, he can still be an NFL employee and be behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean you play football.
That don't mean an NFL headquarters in that building.
Something don't sound right, bro. That shit don't sound like some bullshit to me.
Well, yeah. So that means, all right. Let me go to Arkansas. They got a manhunt underway.
What do you think about this? What do you think? Give your opinion, bro. What do you think about these, man?
After a husband and wife are found
I want to hear
dead
your opinion, bro.
along a hiking trail. This happened Saturday. Police say
sound like a bunch of chaos going on all at one time.
But my thing is, and it's another thing. This is how you know something's suspect about. This is how you know something is my bad. I asked you to say your story and then I cut you off. My bad. But this is how you know these are a lot of suspect stuff about these stories. Why are these stories always happening when they say black people doing these shootings in these states like Philadelphia and Chicago? Why are they always happening on the weekend? Can you ask me that question, DJ? Why always on the weekend? Why is it always on the weekend,
right.
DJ? So this shit never happens on the weekday? Didn't they say a lot of these mass shootings happen on Saturdays and Wednesdays, bro? You see that? You see that, BJ?
Yep.
But my thing is, if serious, like, let's think with our critical thinking. Why always on the weekend, bro? Aren't motherfuckers more stressed out on the weekday?
Blame it on alcohol,
when they're going to work and coming from work, or no? Wouldn't you be more relaxed on the weekend? Oh, this shit, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to, these stories, man. And then especially when they tell you crime has been down since last year, all of a sudden it's Trump's in. So Trump's is off, so what are you telling me, crime is up? Keep going, man. This shit's stupid, dude. These motherfuckers, man. Boy, I did, man. So a new president's in there, so crime is up in Philadelphia.
Okay. Brink were killed while hiking with their 2 children at Devil's Den State Park. Their young daughters were found unharmed. Now, Devil's Den is located in Washington County. It's about 25 miles south of Fayetteville. And News Nation's Alex Capriello is live with more on the search for a suspected killer. Alex, what more are you learning?
Yeah, hey there, Nicole. I actually used to live in Northwest Arkansas. I've been to Devil's Den State Park a number of times. I can tell you it's quiet, it's safe, and it's family friendly, which makes this crime all the more shocking. The park is going to remain shut down today while police continue to comb through every inch of it for signs of the man that they believe killed 2 innocent parents, Clinton and Kristen Brink. They were hiking with their 2 daughters when investigators say they were attacked. Those 2 girls, they're only 7 and 9 years old. Thankfully, they are unharmed. They're reunited with family at this point. Arkansas State Police say Clinton and Kristen's bodies were found along a hiking trail in a remote section of that park. Listen to this police scanner footage from the moment that they were found.
Sweep the main trail first right now.
trail. Icebox, hiking down. Looking for help.
Repeat that. Say again. Repeat.
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
Try to relay to the office. So we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. Just a couple minutes. I think I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
You could hear the pain in those first responders' voices. The authorities say the Brinks recently moved to Arkansas from out of state. Police have not yet said if they believe that the Brinks actually knew their attack.
Yeah, this is really so perplexing. Alex, what do we know about the possible suspect?
Yeah, very little at this point, Nicole. We don't know exactly who the person is, but we do have a description that the authorities gave us. Arkansas State Police are describing that suspect as a white man, medium build, last seen wearing dark pants, a dark baseball cap, fingerless gloves, and then sunglasses. We're told that he was carrying a black backpack with him as well. This is perhaps the most shocking. Officials believe he left the park in a black four-door sedan, possibly a Mazda. But get this, Nicole, his license plate apparently was covered up by dark tape. Authorities are urging anyone who's actually in the park.
So they go to show you got a lot of manhunts going on, stuff, huh?
Okay, so when these people say that we do commit 50% of the crime, what about shit like this, bro? You kill where you live. I'm pretty sure the victims was white, right?
Got a point.
These motherfuckers. Oh, y'all are this and that. But dude, what about all these mass shootings? I mean, what mass shootings, stabbings, mass fightings, and what about this motherfucking? What about the fact that you be fighting white motherfuckers dead all the time, bro? Dead on the motherfucking bike trail. Dead on the motherfucking.
An elegant touch for an everyday meal. Vanity Fair napkins elevate every day.
You see what I'm
You
saying?
tired of uncomfortable bras that dig, poke, and just don't fit right? We deserve better.
A mother and father are in shock after they say
this was a crazy one I saw right here.
they received their dead son's brain in a box. Tonight, they are suing two funeral homes they say were negligent. One of those is in Cobb County. Atlanta News First reporter Chelsea Beimfor is at Southern Cremations and Funerals in Marietta. And Chelsea, the location is named in this complaint.
Well, it's unclear exactly how Timothy Garlington died back in 2023. His family says when they received his body that was initially handled by this funeral home in Marietta, it was not intact.
It was, and it is still in my heart that I got in my car and I smelled death.
Lawrence Butler describes the traumatic moments that he and his wife allegedly discovered their dead son's brain in a box in the back of their car.
It's something out of a horror movie.
Attorney L. Chris Stewart, who's representing Butler, says his son, Timothy Garlington, died unexpectedly in November of 2023. He lived in Georgia at the time, but says his parents lived in the Northeast.
He grew up in Philadelphia, so they wanted him buried up there. So they hired Southern Cremations and Funerals in Marietta to take care of the body and have it shipped to Philadelphia.
Stewart says when the body arrived in Philadelphia, it came with boxes of Garlington's personal belongings. His parents came to pick them up and left the boxes in the back of their car for a few days. That's when they started smelling something foul. Stewart says it turned out to be Garlington's brain.
When they grabbed the box, it was covered in a fluid that got all over them. Wasn't marked. No.
I had to get rid of that car. The remains was in that car.
Since then, Stewart claims the Butlers have not received any apology or real explanation from Southern Cremations and Funerals or the facility involved in Philadelphia. That's why they're filing a lawsuit to hold both locations accountable for, quote, gross misconduct and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
We just pray that this doesn't ever happen to anyone else again.
We did reach out to Southern Cremations and Funerals several times today about being named in this lawsuit and have not heard back. Reporting in Marietta, Chelsea Beimfor, Atlanta News First.
New details tonight at 10. One family says they won't.
Okay, so look, Yeah, it's just getting to the point. But see, look, check this out. It just happened to be a black, military man, right? Why the black one? Why the black man? You saw they disrespect us like that, BJ?
Yep, I see it, bro.
Oh yeah, that mass shooting. One of the mass shooting stories. Oh, did you play the mass stabbing one? Did you play that one yet? Whenever you get a chance, you play that one.
Nah, I know.
There was a black. Well, anyway, look, there's a so-called black dude. There was a brother that helped in that situation and stop the stabbing. Right? Are they going to treat him like Daniel Penny though, or no? Is he going to get the Daniel Penny treatment? He was in the military too.
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
Gear up for back to school with A+ deals for the whole family at your Going Gone by Dick's Sporting Goods. Score up to 70% off.
Over 130 million Americans feeling the effects of relentless heat as dangerous conditions rage for the eastern half of the country. In the Carolinas, temperatures reaching record highs. The heat index expected to reach up to 115 degrees for the second day in a row. That's what the real field temperature was at the Sweetgrass Festival in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, Saturday.
Stay hydrated, exercise due caution, get indoors when you can, take lots of breaks.
And along the state's coast, beachgoers flocking to the water, attempting to stay cool. In Arizona, the brutal temperatures forcing rescues for hikers throughout the state. The Scottsdale Fire Department rushing to save a woman experiencing heat exhaustion while hiking in the East Valley. And in Mississippi, the extreme heat causing this portion of Highway 49 to buckle. Amid the soaring temperatures, energy providers across cities upping output. Emergency rooms also seeing a spike as more and more patients are admitted for heat-related ER visits. New York City seeing close to 150 in the past few weeks. On average, nationwide, more than 67,000 admitted each year.
All right, so let's go ahead and find out if you are part of that 130 million that will be impacted by heat today. So take a look at this map. If your city is lit up in any of these colors, for example, heat advisories in orange there, 106 is what it'll feel like today in Little Rock. Many cities in the state of Florida could actually have record-breaking temperatures with actual highs reaching the triple digits. Extreme heat watches for places like Jacksonville, where it will feel like 110 degrees. And what makes this so dangerous is that it's really a compounded effect. We've got multiple days where we're feeling this type of heat. As far north as Richmond, Wednesday, you're headed to work or heading home from work rather, would feel like temperatures at 103 degrees. The other thing I want to mention is the overnight lows, not bringing much in the way of relief. A lot of these cities are really struggling to make it out of the 80s at night. And then we take a look at this. Anyone who has purple on the board, that's from Low Country in Georgia into the Carolinas, even near Roanoke, Virginia, you are at a level 4 out of 4 for extreme risk when it comes to heat. That's the highest you can go. Very little overnight relief. And this affects anyone without effective cooling and hydration. So stay safe and hydrated out there. For now, Janae, back to you.
All right. Important reminders.
Let me say something about that.
Yo.
I ain't tell you that. When you come out your damn door, I do feel like you walked in the damn scorcher as soon as you walk out the damn house.
Yeah, something's not right with that, man.
So then we got all these power outages going on. Yesterday, the trees were coming down yesterday before it even rained. It was windy and shit, but the trees, the branches were already on the ground.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
So it's been scorching every day. I mean, for the last couple of days. I mean, 81 degrees yesterday morning at 6 o'clock. I'm working out. Ridiculous. I ran through 2 shirts. Yep.
I told you.
I had 2 shirts take me out.
Shit is wild, man.
Actually, I've been getting up earlier too, like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock. You want to do everything you can before it gets hot. But, last couple of days just been crazy. I mean, except for that big storm yesterday, that was about it, bro. I mean, it's been fucking scorching like this bitch. Hold on, let me play one more.
We begin tonight with the heat. More than 200 million Americans on alert from New York City right down to Florida, from New Orleans over to Raleigh. The heat index, when you factor in the heat and the humidity combined, expected to be well above 100 across the eastern half of the country. You can see it right there. In New York City, it'll feel like 104. From New Orleans to Raleigh, it'll feel like 110 to 115 degrees. Authorities are calling this a long-duration heat wave, the heat building from day to day with little relief at night. New York City tonight activating a heat emergency plan, and we're tracking severe storms along the margins of this heat dome now settling in over much of the country. Thunder and lightning right here in Glen Burnie, Maryland, and a tornado touching down near Watertown, South Dakota. Tonight, several states now bracing for those storms and dangerous winds. New York City, Philadelphia, Boston, all with worsening conditions tomorrow. Meteorologist Jeff Smith has the forecast, and ABC's Victor Kendo leading us off with the images already coming in tonight.
Tonight, a life-threatening, long-duration heat wave has 200 million Americans desperate for relief. From the New Yorkers riding the subway,
it's steamy,
to the workers toiling in the Savannah heat.
Today's been busy from the word go. We started riding calls early this morning, and it was 90 degrees at 9 a.m., so it has been nonstop for heat illnesses.
Anyone spending time outdoors is at risk. Pedro Rete telling me he keeps a close eye on his crew in this heat.
When it's this hot, do you have to keep an eye on the other guys and make sure they're doing okay? Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
The city's fire department using these special ice pack vests to keep their firefighters, who carry 75 pounds of extra gear, cool. Battalion Chief Wayne Eiffel says whether you're a firefighter or not, the message is the same.
Hydrate. That's number one. We tell people if you're hydrating the day of, you're ready late. You need to hydrate for tomorrow, today.
Back in New York City, authorities activating their heat emergency plan, opening cooling centers and keeping city pools open later. The heat and humidity also a perfect recipe for severe storms. Multiple tornadoes touching down in the upper Midwest Sunday, this one in Watertown, South Dakota.
And David, there is no relief here in Savannah tonight. Even at midnight, the heat index is still 90 degrees. That just makes the body work harder to keep cool. And this goes all the way up the East Coast. Tomorrow, New York City will feel like 104. David?
Yeah, these evenings do not let the body recover. Victor Kendall leading us off. Victor, thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Jeff Smith from our New York station, WABC. Jeff, great to have you. It gets even worse tomorrow.
Yeah, David, these heat advisories continue in the New York City area right through Wednesday, but this is such an extreme and wide-range heat wave across much of the central and eastern part of the country. Extreme heat warnings in these purple areas. We're talking St. Louis all the way down to Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Savannah, up to Raleigh. Heat index values could be 110 to, in some cases, 120 degrees in these areas. Check out what it will feel like Tuesday afternoon. Some eye-popping numbers. Memphis, 114. Little Rock, 111. Savannah, 110. And we do not get much relief at all across the southeast, right through the latter part of the week. In the northeast, we'll get relief from storms by Thursday into Friday. Those storms right now firing up over eastern South Dakota.
That's right.
There is progress to report in the is still no cure against all.
What I'm saying, man, with this heat, man, you just gotta be careful, man.
Man, that's a fact.
That's it. I mean, you're having to guzzle water because it make me cramp and stuff. I ain't even really tell you, but I ain't even feeling all that great right now. I mean, well, I'm feeling all right, but like I said, man, I just sit in the hot so you can keep the fans on and all that other shit. I didn't lose power like the city though. We lost power and stuff. So losing power in this heat is a doozy. Matter of fact, before I go in a little bit, I'm gonna play that video about the data centers, but that's what I want to show you right here.
Alzheimer's. While there is still no cure, new testing and new treatments are presenting new options.
It's important to say this is not for people with full-blown Alzheimer's, but for those in the early stages and those at higher risk of getting it. Here's Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPook.
Oh, my, Marty.
Carla and Marty Miner have traveled the world together, married 44 years.
Look how young you look there.
They recently visited Bhutan.
We have a great time together.
3 years ago, Marty noticed Carla occasionally repeated what she'd already told him.
I didn't know if it was stuff that's happening because we're getting older.
A neurologist diagnosed Carla with Alzheimer's.
It was horrible. You know, I'm not going to have that. I don't want that.
Some patients and physicians have been reluctant to diagnose Alzheimer's because there have been few treatment options.
Are things different now because there finally is a medication that could potentially make a difference?
There's finally a medicine that you can show is different from placebo.
Dr. Sam Gandhi, a professor of neurology at Mount Sinai School of Medicine, offered Carla a drug called Leqembi. It's an intravenous infusion of one of 2 drugs approved within the last 3 years to treat the disease. It removes plaques in the brain called amyloid, a protein associated with Alzheimer's.
So the red blobs are where the amyloid is.
Dr. Gandhi has done consulting for the company that makes Leqembi. In patients with the early stages of Alzheimer's, studies showed the drug slowed mental decline by about 30% after about 18 months. Both treatments carry FDA black box warnings on the risk of swelling and bleeding in the brain.
Occasionally, there will be some swelling, in some cases to the point maybe of even some bleeding. So we do surveillance MRIs, regardless of whether there are symptoms or not.
How does that feel?
Carla Miner has had 7 infusions over 5 months. It's too soon to tell if the treatment is working, but she's currently independent, enjoying time with her husband, and still able to channel her favorite singer.
I know all the lyrics to a lot of those old rock and roll songs that I used to listen to.
You ain't nothing but a
hound dog.
All right.
I'm hopeful. I have a wonderful life. We've just been very, very lucky. Hopefully this will be lucky too.
That's about all hammers.
Man, that's some. You gotta be careful with these damn. I mean, it was a warning on the motherfucker for a reason, you know. What's the success rate? I mean, amongst how many people did they study? You see what I'm saying?
Okay, one AI site builder.
You're right.
After a mass stabbing attack at a Walmart Saturday, 11 people were injured. Police say the 42-year-old suspect entered the store in Traverse City and began attacking people randomly with a knife. No one was killed. The suspect is in custody and will likely be charged with terrorism and assault charges. CBS News correspondent Lana Zach is at the scene. Good morning to you, Lana. What exactly happened?
Good morning, Errol. Well, law enforcement officials say that just after 4:00 p.m. on Saturday, Bradford James Gilley, who they've identified as the suspect, entered this Walmart here. And then I'm going to let an eyewitness that I interviewed, Julia Martell, explain what happened next.
It was just some guy shoving another guy in my head until he started to kind of face me and run in action. And that's when I saw the knife in his hand.
What did you do?
I ran. I booked it down the aisleway. I dropped everything that was in my hand.
Wait, stop for a second, bro. Stop it for a second.
Now, she had been there buying formula for her baby girl. She said that she thought about her daughter only after she had gotten to safety, wondering where she was, and then remembering that she was actually at home safe. That's just how shocking this incident was. Julia said she saw his eyes, that they looked wild in a way. But ultimately, she was walking out of this Walmart. She saw people stabbed, including an elderly person in a motorized wheelchair, one of those motorized shopping carts. Police arrived on the scene within 3 minutes. The sheriff told me that actually heroes here rendering first aid contributed to that positive outcome.
Black man.
Suspects, or for all of those stabbing victims.
Yeah, she is so fortunate, and those bystanders helping to.
Why didn't I talk about the black guy though?
Lana, thank you very much.
Okay. This is what I want to say. Look, check this out. Look, for one, why was she laughing, bro? Why was she laughing? If you get it, for one,
I'm Camille Mary. Coming up, we're learning more about the man who allegedly stabbed 11 people at a Walmart.
Why would you be playing? I mean, for one, why would you, right after this happened, why would you do an interview, for one? For two, why are you laughing about the situation, bro? You just seen people stab and you laughing?
You're right.
And then the reporter just said motorized wheelchair. There's a difference between a motorized shopping cart and a motorized wheelchair. What is this lady talk? What is the reporter talking about? Does she miss her line or forget? Like, are these people so out of touch to where they don't? Like, does this reporter not be in supermarkets and does she not shop with the local people, or how do you not know that it's a shopping cart, bro? Oh no, I wouldn't be laughing though. That's weird. That's weird. I wouldn't be laughing at a time like that. That's weird.
Out of touch reality, brothers.
It makes you think it's kind of maybe a crisis actor or something. I don't know. I mean, there was 11 people that supposedly got. But how do you make up something called now? So now we go from mass shootings to mass stabbings. Now.
Limo at your service.
Okay.
You're right.
Somebody was laughing like this shit was funny.
Arizona's power supply, data centers popping up across the valley. They are huge drains on the grid.
It's causing electric companies to look at ways to quickly increase their ability to generate more power. Investigative reporter Morgan Lowe tells us there's an effort to protect residential customers from footing the bill.
We are living in a digital world, from cloud computing to online photo and video storage to video conferencing and AI. All of that information is living in a data center, and the Phoenix area is a hot zone for these hot new businesses.
Item 107 is a general plan amendment to establish policy guidance for data centers.
Last week, the issue took center stage at the Phoenix City Council.
We are concerned about the increasing intensity of impacts that the unchecked expansion of data centers are having on our city and state economy and small business community.
The council was considering whether to regulate where data centers can operate.
These can be the size of the neighborhood. The power demand on these things is severe.
Council members got an earful.
These facilities pose serious threats to our environment, infrastructure, and communities.
Data centers are big and they use a lot of water and electricity. This single data center at 40th Street in the Loop 202 is 80 acres in size and requires its own electrical substation. There are about 140 of them in the Phoenix area, and dozens more are waiting in the wings.
I think it took everyone by surprise.
Kevin Thompson is the chairman of the Arizona Corporation Commission, which is investigating whether the state has the infrastructure to handle the data center rush.
Data centers are a 24/7 operation. They have to keep the servers cool, and that takes a lot of power, a lot of air conditioning to do so.
Do we have the resources? Do we have the electric capacity, the water capacity to continue to grow this business in Arizona? Is it sustainable?
Not at the moment.
The pressure is on power companies like SRP and APS to come up with the additional electricity. Right now, data centers use about 350 megawatts of APS electricity. The all-time high peak demand for APS was 8,200 megawatts last summer. But if all of the data centers that want to set up shop were able to, APS would need to deliver 19,000 megawatts.
Do you have the electric generation capacity and transmission capacity to serve every data center that wants to come to the valley right now?
So we have made commitments to a certain amount of that energy to serve, but we do not have the energy and transmission infrastructure to support the amount of energy that's being requested of us.
Patrick Bogle is the data center strategy director at APS. He says it's going to take years to meet the demand. APS is currently turning away data center customers.
What's to stop APS or any other power company from saying, okay, well, we're going to supply electricity
to these high-paying customers, and maybe the service to mom and pop isn't going to be as good.
Yeah, so ultimate goal for APS is reliability and affordability for our existing customers. We've been able to tell data center customers, we can serve you, but just not now.
The Phoenix City Council passed its new data center regulation with support from many of the data center groups.
This is not saying we don't want a ban. We want to ban data centers in our community. We want to just be more intentional about where they go and make sure that they're not providing a greater risk to the adjacent properties that are next to them.
There is still lots of opposition to the facilities from community groups. It's a message Kevin Thompson at the Corporation Commission understands, but doesn't necessarily agree with. What's the difference between what you're investigating and what these critics of data centers would probably like to see you investigate?
I'm strictly looking at the power side of things, the energy use. How can we ensure that the data centers are paying their fair share, paying their own way?
Thompson says the data centers need to pay for any infrastructure upgrades required to get them the additional power they'll need. Do you think that the utilities and the data centers are going to be amenable to that idea?
I don't think they have a choice.
Morgan Lowe's here with us now. Morgan, for people watching us at home, should they be concerned that their residential power bills are going to rise for the companies to expand the grids and generate more power? Would that trickle down like that?
Yeah, everybody is saying no, the Corporation Commission, the power companies, but the way that these power companies, these utilities traditionally get the money to pay for all this is they have all of the customers pay for these expensive things. So in this situation, if you have the data centers paying for the infrastructure that's required to supply electricity to them.
Yep.
Bro. But see, that's the same with the tariffs, though, man. They take the corporation takes the hit and they pass it down to you. But see, the thing is with the tariffs, the corporations could get a tax breaks. They usually get tax breaks and stuff like that, and then incentives and subsidies from the government. You see what I'm saying? And then they don't really have to. They can raise their prices, but then the tariff is kind of gone in a way. It'll go up, but not like. Excuse me. You see what I'm saying? But this is kind of similar with that, man. Somebody's gonna have to take the hit. They're gonna raise the prices. But see, and then, you know what is crazy? They have places that can help you pay your bills and stuff like that. How come none of these places are in conjunction with none of? I don't know.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete.
Our next story might make your blood pressure spike.
Frustrated viewers are complaining to our response team about getting surprise medical bills after everyday visits, just like a checkup.
Consumer investigator Chris Kimura is here with a recommendation that could change the way you make all your future doctor's appointments. What's the problem, Chris?
Good evening. Upset viewers are finding they're on the hook for something they've never seen before, a big facility fee. Some call them extortion. We want you to hear from those patients firsthand because you might face a medical facility fee, even if you don't actually go into a medical facility.
I think it's a very shady business practice.
Wendy Coe's ordinary doctor visit took an extraordinary turn to collections. She says she scheduled a routine visit at this John Muir Health office in Walnut Creek, paid her copay, signed some forms, and met with her doctor for 15 minutes. But later, John Muir Health sent Wendy a surprise bill for $125 for a facility fee on top of her copay.
I didn't understand why they were charging me just to simply walk into the facility.
John Muir Health told us its facility fees cover a wide variety of expenses, such as nurses, technicians, environmental services, interpreters, security personnel, plus equipment, utilities, and maintenance. Wendy says she was unaware of her $125 facility fee. There was no price of admission posted anywhere and no verbal warning at check-in. But John Muir Health said Wendy signed this form agreeing to doctor's fees plus hospital facility services.
So there's nothing about the amount. There's nothing. It's just you're signing your life away, basically. They could charge anything.
She refused to pay. John Muir then sent her account to a debt collector. Wendy's not alone facing a surprise facility fee. Viewers around the U.S. are complaining to our NBC and Telemundo sister stations.
This is just totally wrong.
Valerie Timponi, near Chicago, did a video visit with a hematologist and paid her copay. She says Advocate Health later charged her a $60 facility fee for use of a specialty room.
How many times before you logged in for your video visit did they tell you you were going to be on the hook for a facility fee?
Absolutely none. No upfront disclosure. And it was quite upsetting. I could not believe the surprise bill after the fact.
We contacted Advocate Health and asked how it justifies a facility fee for a video visit. It did not respond.
Congress said it banned surprise medical bills back in 2022. And yet here we are in 2025 with surprises. Turns out the No Surprises Act was designed to prevent surprise out-of-network bills. It doesn't address facility fees.
The American Hospital Association opposes federal reform, saying facility fees are increasingly used to cover the true cost of health care. Some states have taken action, outlawing facility fees or requiring new disclosure. California has not. To help you avoid the jolt people like Wendy and Valerie are getting, we turn to patient advocate Lisa Berry Blackstock. She's a professional medical bill fighter.
There's so many people who come to me needing help.
Lisa says the way you set your medical appointments must change today. Before you walk into any doctor's office or join any video visit, ask about facility fees. Negotiate. Either haggle yourself or make your health insurer step in. And always demand an itemized estimate of your bill.
You need these things in writing, and that includes facility fees.
Turns out Wendy's paperwork states John Muir will give you an estimate, but only upon your request. Wendy says a billing rep refused to reverse her $125 facility fee. She told them she was refusing to pay on principle, even if it meant collections.
That's when I emailed NBC and said, this is what I'm going to do then. And I didn't have a response from them after I sent that email back.
So we contacted John Muir and her insurance, United Healthcare. After we started asking questions, United Healthcare told us Wendy's in-office visit has been reprocessed and will be paid in full. We apologize for this error. We asked what the error was, but did not get a response. Wendy's off the hook, but still frustrated and motivated to warn you.
It's just so shady that they have done this to people.
Because John Muir did ultimately send Wendy's $125 account to collections, we circled back with them. John Muir said it waived off the debt collector. Wendy's credit report should be clear too. John Muir said it does not send delinquent account info to the credit bureaus in line with California regulations. Wendy contacted us online. You can too. Snap the QR code on screen right now to fill out our consumer complaint form online.
Wow. That says a lot. Yo. VJ. Yo. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Her bill, damn. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised, man. You know, when these people get, you don't pay the IRS, or you not do something, or late on a payment or something like that, they're gonna come after you. You see what I'm saying? You're held accountable to the fullest extent. But let them do something that's fraud you or take something out. You see what I'm saying? Being sneaky or try to charge you with a different kind of, you know what I'm saying? Then they're not gonna be held accountable. Oh, we apologize, but don't even want to tell you tell you the details and don't tell you what they charge, why they charge. Man, I don't know, man. At this point, we're not gonna come together, man. And yeah, man. Yeah, did he fall asleep? But like I was saying, if we're not gonna come together, that's point blank. That's it. Period. You see what I'm saying? And what else is there to I wish I could. I can't share my screen without his permission. I would share some stuff right now.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Okay, so
see, that's the problem with these co-pays and all that stuff.
Okay, I'm like, this dude. I'm like, where the hell you go? But yeah, this shit is wild. I just think, like I was just saying, they hold you they hold you accountable if you don't pay something, or if you know, something appears that you try to fraud, you know what I mean? But yet it's just the other way around. You know, when it comes down to them trying to be sneaky and to charge you. Because it just sounded like they was trying to be sneaky to me. But a lot of these places, man, you know, a lot of these places, I mean, and then look, with anything with this Medicare cuts and stuff like that, some of these places are gonna be hurting a little more, man. We got to think and look at it like this. You know, these places, man. You see what I'm saying? These places, these hospitals and stuff like that make money off these,
The officer with the body camera knows.
you know, Medi-Cal, Medicaid, and stuff like that from people, man. So we got to remember and take accountability. They're gonna take a hit too.
I'm gonna play
more shenanigans like this.
Two more, and then I'm out. But I'm with this one. Here you go right here. Doctors play bingo music doing surgery. Music bingo doing surgery, allegedly leading to patient's death.
This emergency won't require much from him.
This way.
The job of trying to save a man's life is already well underway.
Straight ahead.
And so he's here mostly to observe and ask questions.
What kind of surgery?
Questions in need of a few more answers.
He was already sedated. Anesthesiologist has all the information.
Okay.
It is a surgery so common. Nearly 4 million will be performed in the U.S. this year alone. The surgery so routine.
We weren't, and there was a whole lot of risk.
The man's wife was told no need to stay.
They said I needed to go, I could do an errand, or I could do whatever, and they would call me when he was done.
Chris Ryder never assumed the surgeon would be the one to make that call.
He said, you know, this is Stark Johnson, where are you? And I said, oh, I'm just right across the street. And he's like, okay. He goes, I'm going to meet you in the parking lot.
And when she got there,
he said, do you believe in God? And I said, yeah. And I said, why? And he goes, would you like to pray with me? And I was like, what?
that's her on the opposite end of the officer's body camera, still struggling to understand why her husband's heart was no longer beating.
We had just talked about what we were going to do for dinner that night. And Bart had said, well, let's see how I feel.
Bart Ryder, her husband of 23 years.
We met at the Mercury Cafe. He just never met anyone that he didn't like and that didn't like him. You know, it's just, that's who's.
Notes obtained by 9 News Investigate suggest Insight Surgery Center staff noticed abnormal vital signs 11 minutes into the cataract surgery. By the time Bart Ryder arrived at Sky Ridge Medical Center, a mile and a half away, his death was all but ensured. An autopsy blamed cardiac arrest.
It just didn't make sense. Bart was 56. I mean, we skied every weekend. We biked together, we hiked together.
One by one, those who staffed the surgical center's OR that day drew these pictures, documenting who was where when things went wrong. A horrible accident, investigators concluded. Chris Ryder reluctantly concluded the same. That is, until she got a call from a doctor not present in the room.
And he goes, I'm telling you this because I think that's a major distraction.
That doctor's tip outlined a story so absurd, thought Chris.
I was like, what? Like,
she didn't know what to think.
My name is Carl Stark Johnson.
And so she hired a team of lawyers to take depositions of the surgeon, Dr. Stark Johnson.
Michael Urban.
And the anesthesiologist, Urban, who then asked both if the tip was true.
Were you playing music bingo during Bart Ryder's February 3rd, 2023 cataract surgery?
Yes.
I'm going to show you a lot of stuff going on. One more.
Welcome back. Artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly popular to use in workspaces. Technology is taking over many different industries, and now healthcare is the next big wave. Lauren Martinez is here in the studio to explain. Lauren?
Well, Tom, it is apparent that AI is here for the long haul, and the medical industry is taking full advantage of all of its capabilities. And now a strong focus is on amplifying patient urgent care visits.
How often do we experience extended wait times during medical visits? Well, AI is trimming down the delay and making a trip to the doctor a little less stressful. One way being filling in the gaps where the industry still faces staffing shortages.
Healthcare, unfortunately, tends to be one of those industries that kind of falls behind in terms of what technologies are available.
Using artificial intelligence to meet the demand, according to Gia Malva, is more about integration opposed to entirely usurping the work of healthcare providers.
Here is the summary of this patient's healthcare over the last 5 to 10 years, for example. What would normally take many minutes, let alone hours, for a provider to sift through information, maybe looking into multiple different health systems, looking through charts and records, and suddenly we have it summarized in an AI format to say, here's your patient in a nutshell.
The AI Care Agent program has thus far been adapted across 22 of the nation's largest urgent care companies. The goal is to simply streamline all pre-visit and post-visit care.
You've never met before. You may have no records, technologies such as AI to really gather that information, present it to you in a format that you're able to digest it.
Which is being done via AI-generated text, where a patient even steps foot into their urgent care appointment.
Days check-in with the patient, and maybe that's an additional skill that's like patient check-in, which is 2 days later. Hey, how are you doing? Let us know if you're not feeling better. Here's a link to schedule a follow-up appointment, or maybe.
Well, AI technology is able to connect with patients without an app or an official login and can start to engage ahead of their visits. Experity's electronic medical record service hits about 40 million visits each year. Lauren Martinez, 10 on your side.
So that's pretty much it. But I just want to show you some stuff. I come on tomorrow, man. Like I said, it's been hot. About to start drinking me a jug of water right now, dude. To get me. So I won't cramp up and stuff, because when it get hot like that, I do have a problem with cramps and stuff like that sometimes. Unfortunately, sometimes when it get hot like that. But I've been eating a bunch of watermelon stuff and other stuff like that. Mangoes, berries, just. Hey, man. Hey, look, Frank. You know what? It used to be hot they say it never rained in Southern California, and it wasn't hot on the East Coast, right? I mean, on the West Coast. It used to be hot. But you seem like you're getting the cool days.
I'm not right.
You're getting all the heat, man. Like I said, but it's okay. Hey, look. I'm going to drink all this water. Keep it up. I be seeing people out here be drinking Red Bull and stuff. I'm like, good luck. Our nephew yesterday, we were about to go walk in the river. He had a Mountain Dew or something. I said, put that back, man. They get a damn Mountain Dew for him. The hell? I'm like, why you got a Mountain Dew? He's like, man, that's it, man. Put that shit back. I think you got it.
It's good you told him, man, because that shit, man.
Yeah, Mountain Dew and all this other nonsense. I'm like, man, it's too hot for that. But then it started storming. Then trees started falling and all that. So, But yeah, man, go ahead and shout your information, brother.
All right, word, man. You can hit me up at XX, Frank Nitty XX on YouTube and Instagram. Same, and then Frank Jones 8115. Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing videos for a while because StreamYard did some janky shit. You know what I'm saying?
What they do?
I had the free account for a while. Then I start paying for the shit. Then they made it to where now they forcing it to where I gotta pay for it now. I can't go back to. Then I went back to the free account, right? Then they took my out. Like now they took my hours, bro. Like they made it to where all the hours, the 50 hours is used up. And then I deleted some of my old recordings. And the hours are still, you know what I mean? Then they talking about I can't record. I gotta buy more hours. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even know about all this shit. This shit's some janky shit. Like I don't even know how I could reach out to them. But I'm like, that's not cool, bro. How does that work? Like, you take my hours and you force me to make it to where I gotta buy a fucking, like, that's bullshit. I don't know, man. But if I do start streaming again, I don't know. I might try restream. I don't know. I don't like how StreamYard did me. That shit was weird. That was really weird, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I understand. Like I said, I try to bring it back on tomorrow. Like I said, there's a lot of. Like I said, man, just been the heat and humidity, I got to get that thing of this, like I said, the squirrel can't even bust or nothing, no more shit. They say squirrels starting to eat meat now. They're starting to hunt stuff now. Squirrel can't even get a daggone thing. So
Damn.
yeah, I gotta show you that one another time. But yeah, man, just like I said, man, take your time, man. Don't sweat it. You know, like I said, they want to charge you everything. Airline prices going up, everything going up. Beef. Hey, man. Yeah, what it is, man. Yep, squirrels are eating your trash now, and they also eating live animals or dead stuff now. Yep, so squirrels can't even eat their little acorns no more. It's daily doozy, man. But hey, man, take your time, man. I'm out and just say, look, remember, you got to be the squirrel, because guess what? He can't find nut. And the way it's going, they're trying to make sure you can't find one either. Take your time.
Facts. All right, man.
Gotcha.